Hello everyone, hope you're doing very well today. It is the 26th of April 2021. Markets have been very dramatic and very interesting. Let's have a look at what our potential opportunities for this week are. Okay, total market cap on the weekly time frame. I just notified it. I've made pretty long and detailed recording explaining each and every aspect of the market, and now it's all gone. So unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna have to make this quicker because I don't have that much time or patience to do this again. But anyway, total market cap on the weekly, and what you can see is we got a close above the weekly level 1.75 that I had highlighted before. In terms of the wicks, you can see the wick from the the candle body did not close below it, so that does not make it significantly bearish on this time frame. We're gonna go straight to the 4 hour. So this is what we were looking at last week. Okay, strong move down into what was potentially middle of channel, anchored VWAP bands from major February drawdown and a weekly level. So this was a very significant level. What I told you last week was that if we have to consider this to be a midterm top, we need price to start trading below this and flip this into resistance. And basically we had to wait all the way till 2 hours before the close of the weekly to get confirmation that price wants to not flip this into resistance and move out of here, because we were trading into this all the way till right 2 hours before the close, and great bear trap, swing failure on BTC, and started to pull a strong move out of there. And if you were there, just a brilliant moment to be able to catch this strong move up. But anyway, for now, this level did not flip into resistance. It held as support. It held multiple days as support, and essentially this is very strong support for now, and this is what it has proven. What you want, we're currently testing resistance, but essentially what you want to see is price not having to trade for too long below the monthly open, price not having to break below the weekly open and the mid channel confluence. I think that's where it would signify weakness, and that we are looking to go further down. But essentially this weekly open is just this weekly level has become very significant in terms of a retrace. Very sharp move into a 786. So that still does not create any kind of significant bear case for this market as of now. Low time frames, we made this impulse out of here into resistance. We're looking for this monthly open now to be holding a support. If it is tested, the market is too bullish, we could get something more shallow into these tops, and then start to grind up out over here. If you want confirmation, there's the confirmation for upside is only after we break this 2.12 trillion. This is the significant level. Momentum is low, so we can get that little bit chop, but for now I think this is the bear trap, and the psychology of it proves to us for now that this is the level to beat for the market, and it has successfully held. For further plans, you want either these tops or the monthly level to be able to manage your risk for potential upside, and you want to de-risk up here at the daily level, take profits, so that once this flips you can remanage your risk or get a good reaction from here and add to your positions lower. Well, this is a case of Ethereum saving the look of this chart and the look of the altcoin market cap, because that a lot of the large caps, they're down 50 to 60%. They were down 50 to 60%, and essentially that's very significant for multi-billion-dollar assets. So momentum and the sell-off being so sharp, the structure of price that does not give a great narrative for uh, for price and for the market itself. But what we need to see is, you can see basically this is a $1 trillion market cap, right? For the total market cap. Just look at these swings: $20, 20%, sorry, 25%. You know, another move up 25%. I think somebody on FinTwit, if they saw a $1 trillion asset do this, they just, you know, get a heart attack or something, because this is so volatile. And the thing is that when we as we do get expansion in the market and in price, you know, that kind of expansion, it always leads to more violent moves. But anyway, for now we have held the 0.5. What else we have held is again the anchored VWAPs from the Feb move. They did not even get tested, but you can see how good the total market cap, total 2 anchored VWAPs are really accurate, guys. They're very good. Just look at this. Okay, we get the Feb anchored VWAPs, got the sell off. Look at how well they held it. All right, now we had the end Feb lows anchored VWAPs. We got the sell off. Look at how well it held. Essentially, what price is proving right now is that whatever the market has consolidated in Feb and March, you know, the buyers here have still been interested and are supporting the market down here. You know, and this has been a long consolidation, right? This is a month consolidation, a month-long consolidation. So this month-long consolidation, the bulls in this, they have had the capital and the incentive to be holding and supporting price up here. I would say that this is the anchored VWAP and the significant level for price, you know, to start really reflecting weakness. That means the buyers are dead and, you know, the sellers are in control. But for now, it's very much the buyers in control. You know, there is no sign we are shaping like a bull flag. Just quickly, I'll show you the daily as well. You know, we did not make a lower low on the daily on this chart. So that is absolutely incredible, considering we've had 50-60% drawdowns in other large caps outside of Ethereum. Nonetheless, this is what it is. We have made a higher high, but we have not broken the high that made the low. You know, this again, you know, this is how volatile this market is. Until this 1 trillion level is flipped into support or is taken out, we get a higher high here and some kind of structure up here. You know, this is still bearish market structure on the 4 hour. Okay, so this is the level, this is the key level where you can really start to be confident, you know, that the market is ready and ripe. Sometimes it's like this, guys. This is just so violent that this is where you will really get your confirmation. But until then, you know, the momentum on this is much better than Bitcoin, of course. And we had the Ethereum BTC chart showing us that there is potential for that, you know, for that quick move and continuation, because it's breaking out of some very high time frame levels. So for now, everything is good and dandy in the altcoin world. I would say that this is the level we have flipped. So this is the 4 hour level. If price can come down here, it's a decent level to be managing risk for a potential move out of this bull flag. BTC on the weekly time frame, it's not a good look by any means or any measure. Clean close below all the wicks, you know, so this is very significant as a weekly close. Looking at weekly levels, we never got to any other weekly level or tested it. We saw the 3-day block is what eventually did end up holding price for now. So a couple of possibilities right here, you know, but here's the 3-day block. Last review, this is what we were talking about. Price wants to be bearish, want to flip this into resistance. You know, if flipping this into resistance, then I would say this is much longer correction. We could be looking at 38, you know, 32k. But you know, for that, this is now the level to flip into resistance, just like the 1.75 trillion level. Let's look at the daily. Okay, so look at the daily. Quickly look at the RSI on as well. So RSI had a complete reset. We eventually even went below the September lows. But you can see what happened once RSI got here in September. We got a bit of a range building out. Cannot say for sure if this is going to be a range or whether this is going to move back up or it's a continuation, but I will give you the levels, the levels to be able to manage your risk, find find significant reactions. First is this weekly, you saw the Twitter post, flipping this into support gives significant place to manage risk for upside. But we have two strong levels. We have this daily level 57k, which has confluence with this GP as well. So these are two levels. If you caught something down here, two levels to be able to take profit once we get a reaction to reevaluate. If we do get a reaction here, if we get it from the weekly, then the daily level, and basically the daily with a wick to the GP, this becomes a place where you end up finding some place to manage risk. You see, when the momentum is so low, it can still come and test all the way down to the weekly open. What you don't want to see if you're looking for upside is price starting to trade below the weekly open. You see any like 4-hour, 12-hour closes below this, and then the market's in trouble. And we start looking at 38k, 38k, 32k. We start looking at those weird and funky levels. But if price just makes this 28% retrace for a reset in high time frame momentum, and we get a sideways over here for BTC, that is just extremely bullish, guys. That would just mean that the market is really ready to support price over here. So this is basically the futures. But if you have a spot index, it is essentially the buyers from Jan, these 30k buyers that have supported price up here. So on my spotting index, the anchored VWAPs are supporting price around here at around these 45k levels. So currently, the big interest that we had down here, they're protecting their buys for now. This is what they have done. So we have to see, the sellers should get active. These are the two levels to de-risk. So essentially your game plan should be, if you're not in yet, wait for this reaction here and find these two places to manage risk, essentially the daily and the daily level and the GP level down here. So you find these places to manage risk. Essentially, if we are bullish, we really should not lose the golden pocket. It's losing the 618, 786 is still, it's a weekly open, very nice confluence and all that. But, just losing a GP or when we are wanting to build a reversal is not so good. We come deeper, there's potential then that, maybe we are going to build out a longer range. Your price is going to not ready and going to test this support again. So otherwise, you're long already, good place to take profit, good place to take some more profit, and then catch a retrace. We flip this into support, this would be a good place to manage risk. The other daily level, if we go all the way to the golden pocket, sorry guys, too many fibs, I'll just remove these now. So if we go all the way to the golden pocket up here, then again this daily level becomes a good place to manage risk if price has to come down. Also, we will have this daily level right here, which would be in confluence to the 0.5. So if this stalls here, look for the 0.5 and GP. If it stalls higher, look for the 0.5 and GP. Once we build this structure, the primary structure out of this move, and we reclaim this weekly level, then again this place becomes a good place to add for potential upside. There is no confirmation again even on this chart until we take out this daily block, because this is now very significant block of resistance. Just with the magnitude of the move that has come out of this, this is what it is. We have to reclaim this to have a complete and perfect confirmed move out of here. but that's the game plan for BTC for you. Here, looking at large caps against BTC. Just look at the monthly, because I'm not going to see the monthly close, but this is going to be pretty positive. Just watch this level right here. For this, we get a monthly close above this. We still have 4 more days to go. This would be very significant. Weekly as well. Weekly has hit the inverted head and shoulders target. This is the daily block which need to hold a support. We have tested it once. The previous week closed above this previous weekly resistance, which we have not closed above all the way since July. So we closed above this for a second week. That's very significant. Now there's a couple of things that potentially could happen, which is, yes, if BTC gains strength, we build out some kind of a range, or if BTC continues to range, then this possibly has legs to move to the next weekly level, which would mean, Ethereum gets a big move. Essentially, Ethereum and BNB is what has been moving the market, but BNB is not in this large cap. This is just old large caps, and essentially generally what this ends up doing is measuring what phase of the market we are in, because when your dinosaur coins start to gain strength against BTC, it is kind of dangerous, in terms of potentially them being exit pumps. So we have to see, because large caps have gotten 50% plus drawdowns over the last week. Those have been quite impulsive. So we have to see how this pair plays out, because what I was looking at when I was telling you about Ethereum was we are breaking out of a very high time frame level, so if that was a genuine breakout, then this pair should get continuation as well. Otherwise, we could be building out something similar to what happened here. This is late Feb. We got that big sell-off, and after that, this was a slow bleed. So we can get that slow bleed back down into support, while potentially, BTC makes its move, or the entire market gets that correction together. But in terms of levels, we have now a very significant level in terms of this 3-day level. You can see we've really rejected off of it. So we have clean support down here, clean resistance up here, a structure which is not so pleasant looking. Just look at it on the 4-hour. There's a break in market structure over here, but price is grinding now. So not perfectly clean. We have basically, even on the 4-hour, just a very big range all the way from up here to down here. You want to confirm this as upside, we have to flip this into support. Otherwise, we come down here, either test this as support, find a good place to manage risk, or we start to break down from here. So this big wick, this just builds a big range, and for now I would say large cap BTC is hanging in the balance of this 20-22% range, and without a confirmation of directionality, but a strong trend on the upside in the mid-term. In the lower term, that momentum has kind of gotten destroyed pretty strong, so just look at that momentum. This is not what you want to see on the 4-hour, which really is declining. This can also be a squeeze, we don't know how deep it can come. If momentum is really low, it can just drop all the way. Just look at this. This was a squeeze too, just dropped all the way, till we started to find divergences. So there is potential for that, unless this finds strength, and would really only want to be betting on this on this pair once this resistance level up here for the range either is taken out and we've built a higher low, or this flips into support. DeFi against BTC, nothing much to say. Still range bound, this is the first, second, third, fourth rejection from the top of the range. No confirmation on the direction on either side, and I would really say that we can only really, look at and trade this in either direction once we do get this confirmation. Until then, it is just sideways. This is a very long consolidation now, literally the end of the third month of this potential sideways. So we have to see which way this resolves, and expect that move to be pretty violent in whichever direction it may be. Quick macro picture for the S&P 500. We're talking about the big bubble indicators. This is real macro stuff. So market indices relative to their respective 10-year moving averages. All right, this is not a 10-day or a 1 week, it's a 10-year moving averages. All right, so 10-year moving averages, and just look at where we are currently. Look at the other prospective tops. This is Nikkei, the 2000 top, the 29 top on Dow, the 87 top. Just look at all of them. They behaved for 2 to 3 years well above the 120% mark. I essentially had about 2025, 2026 as the areas for a big bubble macro top, but let's see. We really like to get all of these confluences for analysis, and what it says is that once we get up here, this is like super bull, like prices just going absolutely impulsive and mental. So in terms of that macro picture, we are not even there yet, and we have a period of really good gains coming up. Last week I showed you where potentially we could get a correction. I looked at some other statistics that support that it could be as big as a 20% correction. Each time markets get reversals, we do get something like that. So whatever point that does come, just know that potentially and statistically this is what is coming ahead. I'm going to do a quick rundown of all the commodity charts, and I'm not going to talk too much about it. This is around where around the 15th, 16th of, I think it was the 15th of March or the 14th, when I was talking about potential long setups across the board. So I'm just going to quickly shift through all the commodities. Essentially don't have too many levels left for many of them. There was lumber, there's corn, here's copper getting close to all-time high. Basically congrats if you were able to play any of these, because while the traditional markets have been boring and sideways, here's platinum at all-time high today after a big base. We should call this a big base. Platinum had a massive move all the way to Feb. We were playing this then as well, but it's at new all-time highs. Silver, one of the weaker looking ones, but we've broken market structure with a high, broken the high that made the low. So eventually should expect this to follow its peers. Uranium, another one slightly weak, but you wonder where it's getting a reaction from. I don't know if this is gonna take time to load or not, but essentially if you look at it on any other time frame, it's the anchored VWAP. The lifetime anchored VWAP is where it's at about 21. So uranium is taking its own sweet time. Gold has made its move off from the yearly level. We were talking that if we do not get a confirmation and we break down, then we're looking at this level to basically go all in. But this is again a great level. Mapped this out way before we did drop here. Haven't got confirmation like silver. Need a higher high and confirm this level as support. We can say that gold is bottomed out. Here's sugar getting a reaction, strong reaction from a quarterly to a quarterly. Nat gas is weak fundamentals and just weak overall. There's much better plays if you are playing commodities. Platinum, another one that is winding up to catch a move out of here. Got a nice GP bid on platinum. Soybean, again significant resistance levels, but you just look at these moves, guys. This is strong trends. This is repricing against the dollar. That's all it is. Dollar gets wrecked, commodities are having a great time. Look at this Dalai Lama bottom on oil, getting to neutralized levels from 2019. We have some narrative of subdued demand and supply, but this is a strong bottom. And eventually if this builds something out of here, expect another really powerful move.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and share it with someone else. And if you have any questions about what we covered today, please leave them in the comments and I will be sure to get back to you or answer them in my next video. For more trading content and education, go ahead and click on the video on your right. Thanks for watching, guys, and cheers!